In Pit Lane, brought to you by Online Invent, websites, digital marketing and custom software. And with thanks to these great community supporters.
Close-up, Mr. Mill. Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of In Pit Lane, coming to you from the studios of RMIT here in the heart of Grand Prix City Melbourne. What a weekend of absolute chaos, motorsport everywhere. We've got very little time. We're going to take you this week down to Sandown from the weekend, from the historic Sandown Return of the Thunder. We're going to take you to check out some of the action down there. We're also going to take you to back to the Australian Hill Climb Championship to check out something called the Yakar, or is it the Yakar, or who knows? It's a Cross Kart. We're going to find out a bit about that a little bit later on in the program. Also, to play us out tonight, we've got some great music from local band. They are the band Love From, and they'll be joining us a little bit later on in the program. Speaking of Love From our studios here is radiating from the man who's sitting next to me. Here's Craig Doc Latigo. Doc, welcome to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, and a big hi to you at home. You look ridiculous. You can take those feathers out of your mouth, would you?
Oh, yes, I will do that. Well, I thought...
Moulin Rouge or Las Vegas you're going to?
No, more Jesse the Body Ventura, I think. Tell me about it, McMahon. Now, okay, let's find out. As I said, it's absolutely packed. We've got no time to talk. All we've got to say is this is the In Pit Lane Motorsport News. The end of an era last weekend at Mount Panorama as the Speed Series came to an end. Graded as a refugee for categories without a home on the supercar calendar, Bathurst, in front of a small gathering of hardcore race fans, seemed the appropriate venue to say goodbye.
Chaz Boston and Liam Talbot secured the 2024 GT World Challenge Australia title, finishing third in the final race. Their Ferrari started last on the grid after a penalty for a turbo boost infringement during qualifying. The race was won by the Audi team of Alex Peroni and Mark Rosser. Hyundai driver Josh Buchan claimed his second straight TCR title after a consistent weekend. Buchan finished 7th and 6th on Sunday, winning the title by 18 points over Geelong driver Zach Suter in his Audi RS3. Suter placed third in both races and earned points for the fastest lap in the last race, narrowing the deficit to 18 points. Dylan O'Keefe took the round win in the Lincoln Co. James Golding topped the Trans Am Series with victories in both races at the Mountain. Golding won the weekend ahead of James Moffat, with the title now set to be decided in the final round on the streets of Adelaide this weekend. Moffat is now only 24 points behind series leader Todd Hazelwood heading into the Adelaide finale. George Badecki and Ryland Gray won the final GT4 race of the season in their Mustang, but missed out on the class title. The championship went to Method Motorsport's Marcus Flack and Tom Heyman, who finished third in the race in their McLaren Artura. Jay Camilleri secured second, placing between the title contenders in his Gomacel Motorsport Mercedes AMG. In the Pro-Am Cup, Lockie Dalton and Ben Newman made a comeback to win for Buckby Motorsport. Pro-Am champions Lachlan Manif and Shane Smolin finished second in their Porsche. In AM Cup, John Bow added another mountain win to his record as he and Jacob Lawrence claimed their final victory of the season in the Randall Racing BMW.
And the glamorous version of me says another young Australian motorsport talent may be on the path to an F1 career. Gold Coast teenager Jack Beaton will join European open-wheel racing powerhouse Prema Racing in the 2025 Formula Regional European Championship. The 16-year-old made an impressive showing in this year's Italian F4 Championship, finishing second overall behind British driver Freddie Slater. Both will now race as teammates at Prema next season. In the series, Beaton earned 10 podium finishes, what an effort, including one race win across 21 races. He effectively steps into the seat vacated by fellow Australian James Wharton, who is moving up to the FIA Formula 3 Championship with Art Grand Prix. Premier's team principal Renee Rosen praised Beaton, describing as a promising prospect with impressive speed and progress over the season.
Well, of course, if Jack doesn't end up in the world of Formula One, he could one day head across the Atlantic to the Republic of Trumpganistan and play his trade in the uniquely star-spangled American world of NASCAR, which wrapped up its season last weekend on the Oval at Phoenix Raceway and crowned its 2024 champion.
Joey Logano has won the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series Championship at Phoenix Raceway, securing his third career title and joining an exclusive group of just 10 drivers with 3 or more championships in the sport. Logano, who also won the championship in 2018 and 22, took the lead midway through the final stage and held off his Team Penske teammate Ryan Blaney, who was attempting to win his second consecutive title. Championship contender William Byron finished third for Hendrick Motorsports, followed by Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick. Logano's path to the championship nearly ended in the playoffs, where he narrowly avoided elimination only due to the disqualification of Alex Bowman. Logano then won the next race in Las Vegas to secure his spot in the championship final round, ultimately capitalising on the opportunity to win the title.
And back here at home, the local supercar season wraps up this weekend on the streets of Adelaide with series leader Will Brown facing only one challenge to his first title, teammate Brock Feeney. And he's the only man with enough points to challenge Brown, and the 888 team said that there are no team orders, leaving the drivers to fight out on track, as long as they don't whack each other, of course. Brown leads Feeney by 180 points with a maximum of 150 points on offer in each of the 2 races at the Adelaide 500.
And we'll have news on that next week. We're going to take a break now here on In Pit Lane, but when we come back, we're going to take you to Sandown for the historic Sandown Return of the Thunder, and coming up a little bit later on, music from our band tonight, Love From. Don't go away. You're watching In Pit Lane and we'll be right back.
Get the phone ringing for your business with website development and SEO services from Online Invent. Visit onlineinvent.com.au.
Yes, and once again, we've got to say a huge thank you to Roy Ellery and from Online Invent, who has really kept us on the air for the last couple of years. If you're looking for somebody to handle your social media, for your setting up websites, to do anything involving sort of online marketing, then talk to Roy and the team at Online Invent. They know all of the secrets because, look, it's easy. I thought I knew everything. I could design a website.
But you don't know. You don't think
look, I don't know about that because Roy tweaked a few things here and there. I didn't notice any difference, and suddenly
except the numbers jumped.
Yeah, the numbers just went through the roof. So, look, if you're looking to promote your business or your events online, then talk to Roy at Online Invent. And of course, remember his own YouTube channel, which is motorsportarchives.com on YouTube.
And Roy was at Sandown on the weekend, I noticed as well too. Absolute complete tragic he is. Now, just one little secret. Brett started a little live stream down at Baskerville a couple of weeks ago. Magnificent. I couldn't wait to see it. Even rewatched it again. We also did a quick one at Sandown just gone on the weekend, and we're just getting a little bit of a niche crowd there at the moment, so keep an eye on those in the next few weeks. Just for our online watchers tonight that are keeping up, these pit lane walks are going a little bit.
That's on the In Pit Lane Facebook page, and also we'll have live stuff coming up. Also remember Thursday night, Full Course Yellow, the new night for Full Course Yellow at 8:30 every Thursday night when we all get together and have a bit of a chat live around Australia.
Now you're going to forget this on Thursday night, and so will I.
Okay.
Have a look at YouTube and check out the full extended version of the Basketball Historics that I just mentioned a minute ago. Not the in-pit lane walk I'm talking about, the intimate one with Jason was great on camera with that one. Have a check out at the full extent. Brett just wrapped it up in the past week. Have a look at the full version of basketball. It's got a great array of the stuff that they did down there for the weekend. And we've got some footage. Some of our footage behind us tonight is from our shoot at Baskerville. And once again, a huge thank you to everyone from Baskerville. Caught up with lots of people at Sandown on the compliments you got on the weekend. Yeah, look, so many people who from Baskerville and from Tasmania who said thanks for coming down. Really appreciate it. We've had an awful lot of viewers watch the thing and also say how much they enjoyed it. So thank you once again. Hey, listen, we're going to have some music right now because tonight's band joining us is Love From. They've got a new single, Diamonds, which is coming out soon, and they'll be playing that a little bit later on in the program. You can also catch them at Bar Open in Fitzroy on November
the 20th, just around the corner. You can also follow them on Instagram at lovefrom.music to see where they will be next. But right now, before they play their single later on in the program, we're going to play... Look, this could take forever because apparently they're going to sing everything.
Oh, really? Everything?
Absolutely everything.
Wow, we better settle in then.
Strap yourself in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Love From with Everything.
As the sunset falls, everything happens for a reason. Everything moves and it's slowly. His tired eyes won't see the sunrise. Everything all comes back to you. Distance, I feel your heat. I spin you around, keep your eyes on me. Two souls intertwined, rising from the fire. Fire, everything happens for a reason. Everything moves in its tired eyes won't see the sunrise. Everything all comes back to you. Everything all comes back to you. Why can't you be mine? Oh, lying in the dark and dreaming of your silhouette. As the sunset falls, everything happens for a reason. Everything moves in its own way. These tired eyes won't see the sunrise. Everything all comes back to you. Everything all comes back to you. Everything all comes back to you. To you.
That was Love From and Everything, and they're going to be playing us out a little bit later on in the program with their brand new single, which is called Diamonds. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you at the end of the program. Remember, if you want to check them out, they are on Instagram as well. And you've got stuff on Spotify, have you? And
we have stuff coming, yes.
Stuff coming on Spotify. When that's added, we'll add that. Remember, we've got an In Pit Lane, a tune-up playlist on Spotify with a lot of the bands, a lot of the artists that have been on the program over the years. So check that out. We'll post a link up in our Facebook page.
Ever growing and even more popular.
Lots and lots. We have had so many bands and so many
And the
musicians
diversity's absolutely been sensational.
Look, as we've said before, the Melbourne music scene is just incredible.
And we've found out some new bars. There's some bad decisions, you know.
So there are some bad decisions. Actually, you know you're getting old. I looked at the bad decision bar just recently, and I saw and I thought, oh, that looks good. We should go and see that.
Looks familiar?
Yeah, and then I sort of saw, main band goes on at 3 a.m. and I went, yeah, I used to do that.
Yeah, it's
not
all right.
anymore though.
And then went to work at 5 o'clock in the morning straight after they finished their set.
Afterwards, yeah.
If they had an encore, you were late.
Yes.
Sorry, just below the desk, the mic lead is.
I am. My lead's exposed, is it?
No, mine.
Oh.
No, mine.
Oh.
That's it. The mic is where it should be. Okay, no worries. We're going to take a very quick break here on In Pit Lane. When we come back, we're going to take you out to Sandown for the Historic Sandown, Return of the Thunder. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to In Pit Lane. Well, it's been a busy few weeks for historic racing around Australia, and it's not over yet. This weekend we'll see the annual historic Rob Roy Hill Climb, and the Geelong Revival is also just around the corner. Last weekend it was the annual Historic Sandown, Return of the Thunder, and it was clear by the numbers that the packed late season historic calendar had taken its toll.
It's been a packed program of historic racing locally, with meetings at the Bend in Adelaide, Baskerville in Tasmania, and last weekend at Sandown here in Melbourne. The busy calendar saw numbers down over previous years, but there was still more than enough there to keep everybody well and truly entertained. Plenty of good weather, lots of laughs, and the mostly good time was had by all. A popular feature of the historic Sandown, Return of the Thunder, is always the 4 to 5,000s. 12 cars entered the meeting, but by the time qualifying rolled around, only 8 cars turned up on track. The high attrition rate continued into Sunday, with only 5 cars fronting the starter for the second race. By the time the weekend had finished, the field was down to 4, and when Rod Carroll's gorgeous Lola T140 ended up off the track, the safety car was brought out to lead home only 3 cars. One of the cars that briefly made the track for qualifying, but lasted only 8 laps in the first race, was this gorgeous example of the famous Lola T330, as driven by former Formula One world champion Jody Scheckter. The car is absolutely immaculate, but sadly after fuel problems on Saturday, it wasn't seen for the rest of the weekend.
It's Jody Scheckter car. Jody Scheckter ran a Trojan in the L&M series in 1973, and he wrote it off. So he leased a Lola off another driver, I think it was Bob Laser, and he put it on pole and said it was the easiest car he ever got. So he went and bought a Lola. So he bought this car, HU24 Lola T330, and he ran it at the next 2 rounds. He won 1 round, and I think he was second in the other. But then Trojan, who he was a works driver for, came back to him and said, if you continue driving that, you owe us a lot of money for all the damage you've done during the year, and we'll take the car back off you. So he then stopped using the Lola and continued on with the Trojan, and ended up winning the L&M Formula 5000 Championship in the US. So he used this and the Trojan to win the L&M series. Yeah.
So how did you end up with the car?
I've got another one, Kevin Bartlett's Lola T330, and I went to Mark Barner in America to buy a tub for the car. And I needed a gearbox and a couple of other bits for the Bartlett car. And I said, have you got anyone who's got a donor car? And he said, I've got a car here now, which has been it's a 332. It's a 330 upgraded to 332, which he said, I'm not sure if the owner's going to rebuild it, wreck it, or what. And I spoke to him and he said, yeah, he's interested in selling it. So I had a look at it, and it had the logbook. It was a complete car. And I looked at the chassis number and I realised it was Jody Scheckter's old car. Then I ordered a second tub. and bought the car as well, brought the whole lot in and built them back. And I had to put it back to 330 spec because it was been upgraded to 332, and that wasn't the spec which Jody drove it in. So I put it back, and that is as he drove it, that's how you see it now.
The T330 wasn't the only classic Lola of interest at Sandown, this car making a return to the circuit after an absence of 40 years. This Lola 610 originally competed at Sandown as part of the ill-fated World Sports Car Championship. The last time we saw the car on In Pit Lane, it was in various pieces in the workshop of the late Bob Gill. It's since been purchased and restored to its original splendour, with one notable exception.
The chance of getting the original engine was impossible because it went back to Cosworth. The DFL was inherently a problematic engine for endurance racing because of the 3.9 capacity, seemed to have vibration issues. It would be wonderful to find one of those lying around in a shed somewhere, but they were homologated or used with the Chev V8 in America in Thunder Sports. And it was logbooked here in 1984 with a 6-litre V8 when Bob was going to put it back on the track, or whatever he was going to do with it. So yeah, we decided for ease of maintenance, reliability, to use the Chev engine. It's a great platform. It was built in 1982. It's a T610. It was the factory Lola car for Le Mans in 82 and 83. Then Bartlett bought it as a privateer. He did the Le Mans in 84 and then brought it out to Sandown in December, nearly 40 years ago to the day today, for the World Endurance Championship round. And basically it was surplus stock at that stage. It was sold in the paddock. The engines at that stage were being leased from Cosworth in England, so the engine went back to England, and the car stayed in a shed with Bob Gill for 40 years. Unfortunately, Bob's health deteriorated last year, and his collection, including a lot of other cars which you would know about, was auctioned off, and I was lucky enough to be able to purchase this car, and with a friend, and we've restored it over the last 6 months to, as you can see, the state it's in today. It's a beautiful car to drive, very confronting, about 600 horsepower, and yeah, we just really wanted to bring it out and celebrate the fact that it's 40 years ago since it last raced.
On track, the Formula 5000 honours were shared by Paul Zazarin in his currently for sale Lola T332 and the Matic J50 of Victorian driver Brian Sala. The cars once again looked and sounded amazing, but the reliability was never the category's strong suit, and if numbers can't be guaranteed, perhaps some alternative plans need to be considered. A category where numbers aren't a problem is Group S sports cars. The racing was dominated by the blue Porsche of Wayne Seabrook, who held off several major challenges from the Shelby, don't call it a Mustang, GT350 of Terry Lola and fellow 911 driver Jeff Morgan. New South Wales drivers locking out the podium. While Porsches dominated the sharp end of the field, there was plenty of variety once again to keep everybody entertained, including some spectacular and very noisy Chev Corvettes led by the car of Joe Collegia. A feature of the weekend was the revival of the Australian TT title. The race was a butcher's picnic of various sports cars of a type that raced, would have raced, could have raced, might have raced, possibly thought of racing back in the golden days of the event when it was originally held at Albert Park in the 1950s. Mike Gibson took the early lead in his Lola S2000 and led early, but it was the Malik 16B of Peter Nolan who stormed his way through the field to take the win. The group's QP and R cars brought together a diverse field of sports racing cars, and it was Alex Davison, driving his father Richard's Rolt RT4 Formula Atlantic, that took the honours for the weekend. John Miles and Jack Clifford fought it out all weekend in the historic Formula Ford races, a class that continues to grow. The under 3 litre historic touring cars saw 3 great races between the Nissan 1600 of David Brown and Tasmanian Phil Shepherd in the EH Holden, with the Nissan coming out on top after 3 highly entertaining races. Graham Raper was in a class of his own in the George Reid Ford Special, easily winning groups J, K and LB, while William Sala took the prize in the Formula Vs, another historic open wheel category that continues to grow rapidly. All in all, it was another great weekend of historic motor racing, but with the packed program right around Australia that brings 6 race meetings together over as many weeks, the toll on entry numbers is considerable. Historic racing's booming at the moment, but unless everyone's prepared to work together and work out a sensible national calendar, then the Golden Goose will be well and truly stuffed, hung and roasted well before Christmas dinner. You're watching In Pit Lane. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about cross karts, and we have music from our special guests, Love From. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Get the phone ringing for your business with website development and SEO services from Online Invent. Visit onlineinvent.com.au.
Yes, once again, thank you to Online Invent who make it possible for us to be on the air every single week here on Channel 31. We've got 3 shows to go here on 31, and unfortunately at this stage that is going to be the end of our run here on 31. In Pit Lane will sort of exist somewhere or another. I mean, perhaps if only
It'll
in my
still
own,
be in a realm of its own.
There I'll sit in a padded room somewhere, rocking back and forwards and going, "Hello, welcome to In Pit Lane."
It'll be really a green.
It'll be happening in my
green
mind.
screen. It won't be a padded room. It'll be a green screen, but yeah, it'll be fan. It'll still be in its own. It is held in the highest regard amongst a lot of Australians anyway. Full stop.
Well, it's very nice. We do, as you well know. I mean, people stop. Believe it or not, people do stop us out in the real world and say, what the hell are you doing on television, you fat it? No,
that's what they say to me. You should hear what they say to him.
Yeah.
No, we get stopped absolutely everywhere with the craziest sayings, the craziest fun, and really, even it doesn't matter what the banter is. It's usually complimentary. Usually.
Yes, it is. So thank you to everybody who supports the program, and thank you to our Patreon people as well. It's a small but very, very welcome group. When that sort of that money comes in every month on PayPal, it's like it does help a lot. It's only sort of $55 or something, but boy, that does go a long way at the moment. So thank you very much to everybody who's supported us over the years here on In Pit Lane on Channel 31, and who knows what will happen in the future. But right now we've got 3 shows to go. Now, we're going to take a break quickly here on...
It's not going to be a John Farmer we're coming back, is it?
Oh, well, quite possibly. Who knows? Who knows? Like every time we try and they drag us back in again.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
By the short and curlies.
Yeah, so we're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we're going to take you to back to the Australian Hill Climb Championship, where Doc and I were a few weeks ago. It seems like an eternity now.
It does, the amount of events we've done since, but geez, it was a lot of fun. I mean, those track walks absolutely take the legs out from underneath you.
And the Yakar.
You were lucky to keep your feet there at Bryant Park.
I was very lucky to keep my feet at Bryant Park. I was very lucky to keep my sanity at Bryant Park, but then that's about just true of everywhere.
The cars kept us on the level though.
It was a great day out. We're going to show you the cross cars. You'll find out more about those. They looked a lot of fun. You'll see that we've got some great in-car footage coming as well. So don't go away. We'll be right back. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a second with the final segment of In Pit Lane for tonight. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to In Pit Lane. Well, it's the holy grail of motorsport participation, an affordable, safe and versatile way to go motor racing. Now, of course, everything's relative. I mean, there are people out there who are happy to tell you that GT4 racing is affordable. but the latest possible solution to the age-old conundrum is the Cross Kart concept. Now, the FIA are certainly keen on this, and they've put online open-source plans that will allow you to build your own. Or you could just buy one from a number of manufacturers like Yarcar. And at the recent Australian Hill Climb Championships, we caught up with a local driver who's already made the jump. And he's clearly having a ball. It's part buggy, part go-kart. It's as home on the dirt as it is on the tarmac. These are Cross Karts, the all-purpose Swiss Army knife of affordable motorsport. Cross kart racing has been popular in Europe for many years. Now they're taking off here in Australia. The recent Australian Hill Climb Championship saw a handful of these crazy karts take to the track, and they put on quite a show. Designed for both on and off-road use, the long travel suspension and relatively high centre of gravity makes for a car that's a handful to drive fast, but a worthwhile challenge with a serious fun per dollar return.
This is a Yarcar Cross Kart 750, sort of a bit of a dual race car. We do a bit of bitumen, dirt, whatever you want. It's got a GSX-R 750 motor in this one, and there's a couple here today with thousands in them. There, so you can get them in a 750 as 600 cc's, your entry level, 750 and 1000. This car, they're massive in Europe. These Yarcar are built in Spain. My mate Paddy is the dealer for them. He's out of Melbourne, and they're just a good all-round sort of. They're used for rally sprints, sprint events, hill climb, for dirt, bitumen, all sorts.
The concept of the cross kart has become so popular that the FIA has recently announced the release of open source plans for these cars. The new Level 1 cars debuted at the recent Motorsport Games, and both Level 1 and Level 2 plans will be available from relevant national sporting bodies like Motorsport Australia. The Yakka can come as a kit, all fully built and ready to race. And if the behind-the-wheel footage from the weekend is anything to go by, then they're clearly an awful lot of fun. And that's all we have time for tonight here on In Pit Lane. Now, to play us out tonight, our band is Love From. You can catch them live at Bar Open in Fitzroy on November the 20th. You can also follow them on Instagram at lovefrom.music. Now, if you want to check out their upcoming gigs and all of the news. But right now, they're about to release a brand new single. It's coming out soon, and it's called Diamonds. So, ladies and gentlemen, until we see you next week here on In Pit Lane, this is Love From and Diamonds. Good night, everyone.
All the lines, all the lights, all the things that were nice, all the memories that were bright, and how they fall so far from sight.
Do you remember I adored you? I adored you so hard. We were diamonds. We were lost, and there was nothing I couldn't do. We were diamonds, we were lost, and there was nothing I wouldn't do. figure eight, figure late, figure I'll abdicate. This is all for you, hidden words to say.
Do you remember how I fell for you? Yeah, I fell for you so hard.
We were diamonds,
We were in this, and there was nothing I
couldn't do.
We were diamonds. We were in this, there was nothing I wouldn't do.
But I would do with you. But I would do with you.
What I